Good morning, children. It's your old pal, Brian. Yes, I seem chipper for somebody that's been awake since about 1:30 a.m. Woke up at 1:30, which is not unusual for me. But I'm like, man, why am I awake? I forgot to take my melatonin. Yep. So drifted off and on from 1:30 to 5 a.m., at which point in time my beautiful dog Ellie slipped into bed with us. That was a shocker because we have a baby gate up going up to the stairs in our bedroom, so she doesn't do that. But gave me an idea. She didn't wake up Ollie on the way there. So that means, because she'll start stirring at 4 a.m. and we have to call her to go lay down because she's a maniac. But she slipped in there without Ollie being awake, so that makes me happy. Might be leaving that old baby gate up there. Taking off! So I don't know where I left off, but last week we got our flu shot. We need the efficacy of it to occur prior to us getting back into the crowds of human beings as we head south. Up here, population 7,000. And nobody's coughing as I'm moving around Walmart, that sort of thing. That is not how it's working down south. The flu and COVID is quite there. Timby. I'm probably never going to put the short wing on it. So yeah, got the last Monday, got the flu shot, and today we get the COVID. And for those of you that are yelling BS on COVID, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not afraid of COVID. I'm afraid of my wife. And my wife is a nurse, and she highly recommends certain medical things, and I trust my wife. What do I tell people? I'm not afraid of COVID, I'm afraid of my wife. So I do what she tells me to do, and there's that. But got that done, got a lot done last week, and going to get some more done today. We 15.6 volts. Get the jab at 10 a.m. and then we run over to Walmart and I think one other place. I'm not sure. What do we got to do? One or two other places we got to knock out some stuff. Pimby. I think my prop needs balancing, I'm not sure. So we had the big club picnic, and man, it was nice. Saturday, the weather cooperated. Had probably, I don't know, I didn't count, but probably 20 people. You know, the club is small, so we have about 14 people. And well, we had probably more than 20 people because we had family with their kids, and just I was so happy when I pulled up and I seen little kids. I mean, I just can't express how happy that makes me. The kids were great. 15.5 volts. I flew just my two twisted hobbies in a helicopter, and things went awry with the Puddle Star. My wife actually even heard it. I was flying it slightly behind me, and I hear telemetry lost. I go, what? And she heard it too, and it crashed to the ground. And then I flew it back, flew it back home to the right directly across from me where my truck is. And I set it on the bench, and it did it again. Telemetry lost. So I don't know if the battery eliminator circuit in my because I have two ESCs because it's the twin, and I don't know if one of the ESCs is taking a poop. I'm going to kind of look at it. I don't know if I'm going to do it this morning or not. I I got about an hour and 45 minutes of flying time. I gotta get out of here. But I may look at it tomorrow. The weather's gonna be beautiful again tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna slip out here one more time this week for sure, and maybe more. We have to take Ollie and get him used to the truck. So I think that's happening tomorrow morning. We bought a extra big doggy crate from the Catholic thrift store here, and I think what we're going to end up doing is giving it back.
15.3 volts.
Perfect. But yeah, the club picnic was great. We gave Ralph a MVP plaque and a couple $100. He was choked up, and we were trying to not get choked up, and the ladies made some amazing food, and we had hamburgers and hot dogs, and just a good time was had by all, and that makes me happy to have that kind of send-off for the season. You know, it's really neat. Tell you what I might do. I might go ahead and test that puddle star for fun, though. Just test it and see if it's, you know, kind of give it a little eye over, and then just make sure I fly it like right over the field in case it poops the bed again. Yeah, that's a concern. What else? Out of here in 15 days, and it will happen quickly. Wife is endeavoring to, we'll talk more about her in a minute. Back in a flash. I'm back. So this is weirdly interesting. I went ahead and just, okay, the way it works is if you have more than one ESC, or you have a separate battery eliminator circuit, you need to remove the hotline going to your receiver. Otherwise, you end up with some kind of weird loop, and it can interrupt your electric. So I went ahead, because it just takes a second, and I had a sharp enough blade to be able to deftly remove the
12.5 volts. Throttle active. Throttle active.
And we are good. What is something? Okay, taking off. So yeah, what I ended up doing was just removing the so much for keeping it over the field. Basically taking the suspect ESC out of the loop. And now what is wildly interesting about that is when you fire up your airplane, you'll hear the number of cells, da, 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 da. And I'd hear the number of cells and then not the last sing-song thing. But now I hear the sing-song thing. So yeah, I'm on the other ESC.
11.6 volts.
And it doesn't seem to be, you know, bitching at me. So back to my crazy wife. What were we talking about with her? I forget. Oh, what I did was she's 69 years old. She's in good shape, and she does not look 69. In fact, I might have mentioned the other day when we were at the pharmacy, the ladies were shocked at her age. I have a number of reasons why I think she looks so good for her age, but can't say it here. Aren't we going to learn how to do proper rolls? Nose up, roll. Yeah. I swear, as I'm standing here, I didn't know that's how you do a proper roll until I happened to be watching RC Sailors. So if you don't think you can learn something, I've been at this probably as long as him, if not longer. So what I'm angling at here is I thought that the BEC on one of my little, one of my little ESCs has pooped the bed. And if you're not familiar with how this works, your battery eliminator, your ESC, or electronic speed control, does just that. It takes what juice is going into your plane and it sends it to where it needs to go for servos and receivers and flight controls and all that other stuff. And it's only about, I don't know, 5 volts. So what happened here was I suspected that because it had a blackout or a brownout, that I suspect that it's the ESC, finally getting old, because you're talking about who knows how many flights on this thing. I mean, just who knows.
11.1 volts.
And I think this thing's probably about 3 years old now, so. Yeah, you just point the nose up a little bit and then jam the stick to the left or the right and the thing will roll over. Captain Obvious here. Yeah, we had a blast at the picnic. Everybody had a nice time. Everybody left full. Women were making potato salad. I had like 2 to choose from. There's a macaroni salad I got a little corner of. Had 2 hamburgers. Did not take any video to speak of. My wife did actually, of Ralph accepting his award.
Low battery.
Yeah.
10.5 volts.
I'm giving it the beans and I'm not having a problem. So I suspect ESC. And I actually have a spare, but I'm not going to worry with it. These are the China Hobby Line orange batteries, and they're just not so much.
.2 volts.
Ollie is doing wonderfully. I'm taking him out on long walks by himself and trying to get him to stop pulling. And I'm working with him on that. And I generally, at the end of his walks, he's a little wazzed out because he's been running around cooking off energy. That's when he pulls. So being patient with him. God, we're in love. He is a doll. Okay, so I think I've tested this pretty well. We'll run another battery through it before I go. I'm just going to keep flying all my junk until it's time to leave. What do you say we take the A10, huh?
Throttle hold.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do,
11.3 volts.
donkey. That'll do, donkey. Yeah, what a really nice time. More piffle to come.
11.3.
I'm back. So I'm starting to contact my friends from Virginia. As I head south, we have a couple of folks. I'm gonna miss Fergie. God bless you, but perhaps not next year.
Switch warning.
I'm gonna miss Azir, who I've seen on a number of occasions as well, Rick. But I'm gonna end up in Virginia, and I've got some 30 some odd year friends that I've got to catch up with. And then what is going on there? That's odd. Huh. Oh, it's had to do with the molding, how they made it. Yeah. So I contacted one of my friends. She's all happy. Her very nearly 30-year-old son has finally moved out. Taking off. And she's all happy. It was funny, I sent her a note yesterday morning. I said, "You're probably in church." And she sent me a note back and said, "No, I am not, but I'm in a townhouse and my kid has moved out." Her daughter is
6 minutes.
not only unbelievably beautiful, but very wholesome looking, tall girl. But she's a beautiful human being, and I remember before she was born, she's got her a good man, and life is good for her. The son, unfortunately, has not got his poop in a pile. And what happens is we're in a world where we enjoy a solution for every problem. The reality is that's just not so. There is not a solution for every problem. And if your kid's a pain in the ass, all you can do is point them in the right direction and then let God sort it out. And that's a crappy thing to say, but it's the truth. I've actually had to do it with my son. They get their heads up their butts, and all you can do is think about how really
5 minutes.
how you gave them every opportunity. They're going to have to make their own decisions. So anyway, going to stop by there, and then since she's divorced from her husband, who I still like, and it's crazy because I really like his new wife. I don't like her as much as the old wife, but I like her. So is my wife. She's a doll. So we're going to take time to go see them, and then in that same geographic area, and I need to send him a note, maybe today, let him know when we're going to be there, and see if Virginia Bareback Boy is local. We're able to catch up with them just about every year. They're coming or going. Shout outs, Rowdies. Oh my goodness. McKenna. Con. Mama.
4 minutes.
Con's mama. Cynthia Gretchen. Young Cassie. Oh, and speaking of which, school started back here because I had to wait on the school bus a couple of times this morning. So that's right there. That's telling. It's time to go. Not that I have a problem waiting on school buses. It's just that school's in, and that means fall is here. Fall will be here on the 22nd. Will be the first day of fall. We've already been getting cool temperatures. I think we had a low the other day of 37. It was purportedly 37 at probably the airport, but in the truck it was 42 or 43 this morning. I forget where I told y'all. Love this thing. So yeah, I ended up casting my mind
3 minutes.
forward about rolling, and I have a few things I got to do to the rig. I think I have a battery bad on one of my tire sensors. I don't know if I'm going to worry with it here or not. But I am going to air up those tires. I think I might have told y'all I had the oil changed in the rig. I had the tires pumped back up to 80 pounds on the back and 75 in the front. Boy, you can tell, man, holy crap. It is a stiff ride. I don't want to say anything out loud, but I will. The truck is in good shape. It's ready to go. Basically what I'll do is in about probably next week will be I'll go ahead and I might fly one more time. We'll see what the weather looks like next week. But
2 minutes.
basically what I am going to do is a week before I leave, everything gets put up and I don't worry with RC anymore, or at least outside the camp. I won't come out here anymore and go ahead and commit to making certain that rig is 100% ready to go. I'm paid up for my original club at home through the first of the year, but I will not re-up as I've discussed. What I'll end up doing is hiring on to, actually man, if I can remember to do that, fill out all the paperwork and get that crap rolling, to Larks, Lake Association, LAR, Radio Control, K, I don't know what that is, but Larks will be my new club. It'll be funny because I'm probably going to have to show an old man out there that I know how to fly.
1 minute.
Before I can fly. Yeah, what a nice time out here. You know, we've got some new club members. I've actually corrupted one of them, Justin. He's got a cute red-haired wife and 2 cute red-haired kids. And he's probably one of the better flyers out here. He uses simulators, and
30 seconds.
I joke with him like I do all the guys that are really good at flying. I go, yeah, if you need any tips, I'm here for you.
20 seconds.
There we go.
Throttle hold.
I'll tell you what, that thing is so fun. Particularly when you don't crack the nose off of it. Brap. But he went ahead and paid for the Grayson Hobby profile plane, and I even think I got the $5 off. So you know, you get it in the mail for 10 bucks. You gotta like that. I have a few more things coming from Amazon. I'm something I should have done a long time ago, like 11 years ago with Ellie, is I'm buying the seat belt snaps for the dogs. So when they're in the back, if we do get involved in anything where I gotta lock out the brakes or whatever, they won't be flung forward. They'll be held in by seat belts. So that's for their safety and mine. All right, what do you say we take the old Timby up again? Why not? It's a beautiful morning. Back in a flash. Oh, another shout out to McMoyer. Looks like you had an excellent time out there. Yeah, you know, landing, you get good at it after a while. The more you do, the better you get.
16.7
You landed just fine. I will say that your choice of Beck's Loser was excellent. Just excellent. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sorry to hear about your troubles, but I'm pleased to see that you had a plan B. That worked out perfectly.
16.7 volts.
Who have I missed? Sand Crab, of course. You know, I've met so many of y'all. It's just been a joy.
Throttle active. Throttle active.
Yeah, I got this thing tuned up for an old man. It goes to the left, it goes to the right, and then it goes to the left again. 'Cause that's how I fly.
16.1 volts.
I don't do rolls. I have done a loop in this. You know, I get a little spritey and we'll do a loop. Timber. In the tube deep, you're a maniac. You're just a maniac. You attracted 2 freaks in the last couple of weeks. A Karen and a Ken. They probably together. Truth be known.
16.3 volts.
Because they look like it. Yeah, I didn't offer on RC groups on how best to handle them, but when I was a cop, I would quickly ask you to F yourself. I mean, quickly. But I had it.
13.9 volts.
I won't go into it completely because it's boring, but I had an incident where I was accosted by what was effectively Batman's Joker. Swear to you, ringer for Joker. It was in Sprague, Washington. Okay, I'll just tell the story. And I was fueling up. I was going to fuel up. This is 2020 and COVID, and I saw three youths playing hacky sack, but they were in their 20s out in the parking lot of this gas station. One way in, one way out, a restaurant next door, and then a gas station on the other side. And when I was a cop, I was most vulnerable gassing up. Always hated standing there at the gas pumps. So what ended up happening was basically Batman's Joker come out of nowhere, and he was like booking toward me.
15.5 volts.
And I instinctively yelled at him the following: "Get the F back." And he stops cold and he goes, "What'd you say?" I said, "Get the F away from me." And he stopped and stomped and walked away the opposite direction. Well, it's time for me to leave. Well, there's one way in, one way out. And what did he do? He jumps right in front of my truck and he says, "Go around."
15.8 volts.
And I'm like, My sunroof was up, my dog's head was out, my wife, who is so wild to me, she works perfectly in a clinical atmosphere for emergency medicine. She's seen things that you only see on horror movies. No problem. But in the real world, she's like, "Oh, what do we do?" And I said, "Well, close that sunroof and just keep your head down and I'll take care of everything." And sure enough, I pull backwards and I go to pull around him and he hops back in front of me. Well, because he's a meth head and he is a giant squirrel, another car came in and that discombobulated his mind. I was able to go around him and leave. So didn't need a gun, didn't need to shoot him. Had he misbehaved, I would have ran him over. I did not have a gun. We were heading to Canada, to Alaska, and I had to go through Canada. And with all due respect to the Canadians, I had to leave my gun at home. Yeah. But I didn't need it anyway, and by accident I didn't need it. And what ended up happening was, everything was 10-4. He, yeah.
15.2 volts.
And had he broke out something out of his pocket standing in front of my truck that would have gave me pause, I just would have ran him over and we would have had to take a fire hose and clean the truck off. No big deal.
Volts.
God, what a beautiful day. So it'll take us about 62 days to get home. We will be, September. Well, that's not true. So we leave here September 30, and we arrive. Yeah, so about 50. No, it's not true. Yeah, it is true. We between heading south and ended up in Virginia, and then going to North Carolina for a month, and then Trimble for 2 weeks. Yeah, I think it takes us about 62 days. That's not quite accurate because Trimble is 4 miles from my house, and
14.8 volts.
what we'll end up doing is stopping by the house and firing the house back up on the way home. I'm getting excited. Yeah, I love being stationary, and as me and discussed yesterday, it's great screwing off. I mean, I love doing nothing. You wouldn't think I'd love doing nothing but watch cats play the piano on YouTube.
14.7
but holy crap, it's the best. I was telling I said one of the things I do is no matter what I do, even traveling around the West, not true, but for the most part, I only work 6-hour days. Timber. So by work, I mean I go out and screw off and
14.7 volts.
go hiking and do this, that, and the other, but we're back at our rig to our baby
No
Ellie
battery.
by generally 6 hours. And we could go, and we have, whether we liked it or not, we can go a long time leaving Ellie, but generally 6 hours. And it's funny because you get back to the rig and you're like, oh, she's been pining away for us. No, she hadn't, and sleeping. But we don't like leaving her more than about 6 hours. Oops.
15.1 volts.
There you go, get it? Yeah.
Throttle home.
It's the old
Throttle
grass
home.
strip. Yeah. It's funny. You get there and you're like, oh, you know, she's been just worrying about us, and you get there and she, what I do is I, you know, my very handsome scrub shirts, I
Throttle active. Throttle active. 15.1.
lay them at the foot of the bed, and she sleeps on her daddy's shirt. That makes her happy.
Throttle hold.
All right, let's fly some more stuff. See ya. Did I tell you that I think I figured out why my Bell 206 batteries aren't charging properly? And if AMRC, shout out, here's this.
Binding.
I'm all proud. I have these high wattage USB-C chargers. No, that does not compute with that either.
Throttle active.
It should have charged. So I don't know if I got bad batteries or not, but well, anyway, my hypothesis, which has been screwed, is that if I charge these things in lower settings, you know, just like, you know, a few watts, that they come out better, but apparently I was wrong. I think, I don't know. They're spurious. I charge 5 batteries, I get 3, and I'm all happy. Let's see if that works on this one.
Throttle hold. Throttle active. Binding.
Let's see if this one starts blinking. I'll keep doing it. I don't know if they're not seating right in the USB-C charger or what it is, but man, charge. Yeah, this is another one. Yeah, they're just not holding a charge. Might have to buy me a wad more. Who knows? I'll experiment with them and see what it's doing. We're just going to go through them anyway.
Throttle hold.
See if we can find one of them that'll charge right. I did earlier. I think battery number 4 charged properly. Yeah, I got to figure out what's doing. So I was looking at
Throttle active. Binding.
the price of these, and you know, these were as low as $37 last year. Of course, the tariffs, that's changed everything. But yeah, that was blinking too. I'll be darned. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe one at a time on low wattage chargers is something I need to consider. But I got other whirly gigs to fly, so no big deal.
Throttle hold.
Y'all will stay with me as I bring another helicopter out. But yeah, my wife and I were noting that, that's an interesting smell of fire, almost like creosote. But yeah, they haven't gone up. I'm going to use the term that much. They've gone up in price, but maybe only about, let's say, 15-20%. So that's of interest to us that the Chinese were able to absorb that kind of. Tell you what we'll do. These are fun, but before we start getting wind, I want to fly my big bird some more. I'll be back. I set the alarm to remind myself that I need to be out of here.
Throttle active. Throttle active.
That is crazy how fast those servos are. Taking off.
Volts.
Under the skirt. Yeah, Captain Crunch, I'm so pleased that you're doing well, and glad you didn't permanently break your foot. Yeah, I'm
16.1.
the topic heretofore is going to be what old guys talk about, but yeah, my horse injury is still deviling me, but thank God for, truly, thank God for modern medicine. Sodium naprox keeps it at bay. And then I have another old injury on my left foot. Don't know how it happened, don't know nothing, but it's been going on for about 40 years. And it flares up about twice a year. And it will take your breath away. Sure will. So that thing flared up the other day. But sodium naprox, or Aleve, is giving me relief.
Volts.
I have not snapped my radio in, and I need to remember that. Timby. So yeah, for my Yak 55 from Grayson Hobby, I have a already bound ELRS receiver. So I'll just plug headers into it and solder them in. But I don't know when I'm going to do that. You know, like I said, the first couple of weeks you're at home, you're busy with firing the house back up and hanging out with friends, and so you're busy. But after Thanksgiving, there'll be a little time for me to dick around with stuff.
15.9 volts.
Got the camera under the wing, and I've got it splayed way out. I don't know how well that's going to work video-wise. I'll find out today. What I need to do is get home here in a bit and walk both dogs, tire them out, or get our shot. And then Walmart, of all places, has kick butt internet. I mean, so I can upload my videos there, and it doesn't take a week to 10 days. I freaking love this plane. It's mindless flying, And, well, you know, your old pal Brian doesn't have much of a mind. I've had a couple of 2 or 3 people in my life in reference to recent events call me up, and to include my wife, who have queried me on
15.2 volts.
how to parse the goings-ons. I think I discussed with you guys previously that we're both historians, and these shenanigans in life have always happened, and they're going to happen again. You just tough it out. We got 20 years left, and yesterday I thoroughly enjoyed indoor sports all day long, and we
15.5
worry
volts.
about our life. So yeah, I think I told you I had my wife let her off the hook. She's not a lazy person by any stretch of the imagination, but she's basically stood down this season. Well, when you're retired, you kind of, I joke, you fight for jobs. So she, I know how to use a washing machine. I grew up in a house where things were not so good, and I know how to look after myself, cook, washing machine, all that stuff. And I have been letting her just basically
14.9 volts.
be this beautiful house princess the last 100 and some odd days, and she and we don't even talk about it, you know, but she acknowledged the other day, she goes, yeah, you know, I'm not really, I hadn't been feeling it, you know, clean, you know, because she would pull that rig apart every 7 days and clean it, and I'm like, well, no worries, you stand down, you're 69 years old, relax, I got this.
15 volts.
You know, our world's been wonderfully interrupted by a companion that we may have up to 15 years. And, you know, you get discombobulated is what ends up happening. And, yeah. Me, I generate order, and I love having stuff to do, so.
14.7 volts.
So I've been doing most of the cleaning and cooking, and I just let her be the rig princess. She excels in other areas wonderfully.
.9 volts.
I don't know if I told you, we saw A Taste of Ireland, which is basically a poor man's river dance, and they were pretty good. I mean, there was 862 seats in the Caribou, Maine Performing Arts Center. Caribou, Maine is 9 miles from where we're at in Presque Isle, Maine.
Low battery.
And to see the turnout there was just wonderful. I mean, wonderful.
15.
We're very happy.
Volts.
Supporting the arts.
Throttle hold. Throttle hold.
Snap the radio in. Ran to the edge there, maniac. I wanted to make myself land in the opposite direction, and we had a little deviation. I gotta get a hold of Sean. I don't know if he had a thing this weekend. He didn't get to show up out here.
Throttle active. Throttle active.
Where he has a horse club. Him and his wife, they're like on the board there, and they do horse club stuff. This is their last horse club meeting.
Throttle hold. Throttle hold.
All right, back with something in a minute.
15.2.
Ralph's here. Y'all better tighten up. Boss man's here. He said better late than never, and I'm like, whenever you get out here, man. Tell you what, I might be a little later getting out here if I can get Ellie to sleep past 5 a.m. or come in and pile in with us, as aforementioned. Coming out.
16.7 volts.
Yeah, we're gonna run this again. I'm not sure that I have my other camera on, or if the battery's running out on it.
Throttle active.
Taking off. Ralph will be flying his Beaver.
15.6 volts.
I went ahead and put another camera on there. So there's two. I'll know here in a minute if my other camera pooped the bed. So back to Batman's the Joker. So what I learned is that annoying the freak ain't such a good idea. You know, he came around and screwed with me the only way he could, and that was hopping in front of my truck. And I told my son about this, and he said, "Yeah," because he lives in Orlando, and they have to deal with these people all the time. He said, "What you do is, as they approach you, is you go, no, 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 God bless, God bless," and they go away. I says, "All right, well, I'm going to try that." And I happened to be in New Orleans for the second time, against my will, by the way. My wife wanted to go back to New Orleans. It's just a cesspool of humanity. It's terrible. And sure enough, Joe Crap, the rag man, comes by to screw with us, and I literally go, no, 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 God bless, God bless, and it confounds them. And Joe S. the rag man, Joe Crap the rag man, went away. Oh, it was awesome. So you just keep repeating it over and over till they go away. No, 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 God bless, God bless, God bless. No, 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 God bless. It worked out perfectly.
15.3 volts.
The kid was right. It's hard transitioning it from cop to civilian sometimes, and I actually did real well, 100% or 99% of the time, but man, when I perceive a threat, I am quick to try to run them off. I do not like being concerned for my personal safety and, more importantly, my family at all. Making myself do right-hand turns. Oh, San Diego Ute fan. He's heading to Utah, and he's kind of going home. There is a chance that I might see him again. I'm not going back out to California in 27, but I got to cut across our great nation, and one of the things we wanted to do is go to northern Utah, and I was joking with him the other day. I said, I need to go to one of your churches if you'll let the filthy and unwashed visit. And I think they are having, like in one of their churches that they're doing renovations on or something. They're allowing the unfettered to go in. So I'm all happy about that. Yeah, my wife and I, because of man's intervention, we don't spend a whole lot of time in church. But we do love churches, and we spend a whole lot of time visiting vintage and beautiful churches. Like when we went over to the cathedrals there in, I think Ralph has his drone up. Over in Europe, we love these beautiful old churches.
14.7 volts.
Our joke is we these days at our age, the only time we end up going to a church is to marry somebody or bury somebody, and we're of the age where you're just not marrying people off anymore, Timby, whatever these batteries are, they're good.
Low battery.
Landing. Ralph sent out a big thank you to everybody for his gifts, and he's humbled by our
15.2
sentiments.
volts.
I think I'm going to pack this stuff up, fly a helicopter, and get ready to leave. I've got to be close.
Throttle hold. Throttle hold.
Hey, I'll talk to y'all in a bit. I'm back. I'll let Ralph have this guy. I'm going to fly the Huey because that's how I roll. I swear I hear a drone. Of course, you can't tell with me.
Throttle active.
I hear permanent ringing, so there's that.
Low battery. Battery critical.
That's not true. We are at 8.4 volts.
8.4 volts.
Yeah, what I end up doing is pushing it up past half stick to get it to wind itself up and then get her in the air. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know if this is in frame or not. I think it's beautiful. I tell you, it is hard. There's one guy who has a thread called Help, I Can't Stop Buying Helicopters.
8.3 volts.
And it is funny, because he is hooked. I mean, just hooked. And they're offering some of these really nice ones for $400, and I'm like, ugh. How close that airplane is. Less than 500. He's coming in to land at Presque Isle. Under the skirt. I just love running video of this stupid thing. Keep my fingers away from it. Alright, Ralph's going up. There's the thumbnail. Did I get any of this? No, you effing terrible, god-awful, stupid phone.
Volts.
Alright, just trying to get a little bit of video of the thing. The whole time I'm walking around, I got none. I hope Ralph is going to have a nice flight this morning. I hear him. He's still in the air. He likes to give it the beans. I'm watching Sarah Intuned. Sarah Intuned. She's a 5'11", ridiculously beautiful, oval-headed, long-haired, former technician from the Air Force, and she's got her own garage, and she is amazing. And one of the things she says is give it the beans. So she likes performance vehicles. I am so pleased I discovered her. What kills me is she's been on about 8 years. I think I even discussed this the other day. You know, I wanted to, like on RCG, you know, everybody post your top 5 favorite influencers, you know, radio control or not. Nobody will do that. You literally have thousands of people that are lurking and no one participates. I always tell people, I go, you know what, general apathy, that dude, that's your enemy. People just not caring about anything. Ooh. Stay away from that ball of light. Yeah, that's a problem. There's Ralph.
Low battery.
Alrighty, we're landing. And that'll be it for me today. I'm going to kind of pre-pack up and get ready to roll.
Low battery. Throttle hold.
Nice. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and hopefully my disjointed rambling makes sense to you. There's Ralph. See ya.